everybody. Welcome to another Raider Report for the 2020 fall semester here at Mount Union. As always, I'm Brendan DeVenney, and today we are joined by a Mount Union men's soccer alum, Thomas Beck. Thomas, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Brendan. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. So let's start out. After Mount Union, you have continued your career in soccer, playing professionally up in Cleveland and also on the coaching side. So catch us up on what you've been involved with in your playing career and where you're at in your soccer career today.
I graduated Mount Union in 2014 in the spring. In the fall of 2014, I ended up going to Cleveland State, and I played one more year collegiately there. And following that, I played for AFC Cleveland for the following couple summers. We were able to win a national championship in 2016, which was a very exciting experience. So I played with them there in the NPSL. It's the fourth tier of soccer in America. And following that, I ended up going to a different team called Cleveland SC because AFC Cleveland disbanded. So I'm still playing with them. This summer, obviously, things shut down a little bit with everything going on. And then aside from that, I coach, and I'm director of coaching at a club in Youngstown called TCSC, Tri-County Soccer Club. And that's a youth club, which is competitive soccer. And we have ages 6 to 18.
That's awesome. Great to hear that you're still involved with the sport here in Ohio. Taking a look back at your career at Mount Union, statistically, you've had one of the better careers in recent memory at Mount Union. In 2013, you had 12 goals leading the team. You were the OAC Forward of the Year, and that was your senior year at Mount Union. Going into that year, what do you remember about it? What was your mindset going in that allowed you to have that much success?
You know, it seems like a long time ago now. Definitely getting older, but yeah, from what I remember, so that was my senior year. You know, we had a really tight, close group of seniors that year, and I wasn't able to play my junior year. I tore my ACL, had to sit out, so I was definitely chomping at the bit to get back on the field. And it was my last year at Mount Union, so I didn't think I was going to be able to come back and use my extra year of eligibility at Mount Union. I wanted to, but it just didn't work out with the NCAA and all the rules and regulations and all that stuff. So, I was very hungry, though. I was just ready to play. We had a very close group that senior year. I think we had a new coach that we were all behind. We all felt comfortable with, and so we were excited. There was a lot of upside going into that season, and I had a lot of good teammates around me, and we had a very solid team, that allowed me to be able to get those individual statistics. And, I think we had a very good playoff push that year. We ended up losing, I think, to John Carroll 2-1 in the semifinal in the playoffs, and I think they went on to win it. So we had a very close group. It was a very good team. It was a fun year. It's definitely one of my favorite soccer memories.
Then having gone on to play for AFC Cleveland, and even at Cleveland State for a year, how did the Mount Union years, how do those seasons prepare you for those next steps in your soccer career?
Oh, I mean, it was massive. I think I would call myself more of like a late bloomer. I was, I think, okay in high school. I was a solid high school player. But I really think from ages 18 to 22, 21 when I was in Mount Union, those were, crucial years of my development. And being able to play at a higher level at Mount Union D3 compared to high school was, big time. It made the transition to, going to the semi-professional levels and, there on after all those levels, definitely a lot easier, and it made it a smooth transition. It's very good athletes, it's very good athletes. All the differences, you go up levels of speed of play. So the athleticism was there in the OAC, and it was a very competitive league that year. So they had a lot of good players. But yeah, all my experience at Mount Union, I'm very grateful for. And, I would never trade it for anything. Made a lot of very good friends that, that's what I'm going to remember the rest of my life. Not if we won a couple games here and there, but I still talk to the guys. I'm close with them. They're getting married, having kids now. So it's cool. It's that time of life. But yeah, definitely all the experiences, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Having been around Cleveland, I know you're from Youngstown. Now you're up in Cleveland, larger market. Do do you see the sport growing in Northeast Ohio? Ohio comes across as a football-dominated state, but do you see the sport growing in this area?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, regardless, you're always going to have the football culture. It's great. I mean, Ohio produces a lot of NFL players, and so you're always going to have that. It's ingrained in our roots and our tradition. It's a great sport. But and that kind of like to my leading into the next point, it overshadows the market for soccer in Northeast Ohio. Cleveland's a top 5 soccer market in America in terms of sending kids to the professional levels. They have Internationals is I think a top 5 club in America in terms of youth, and they're sending kids to Division I colleges. So I really do think it really already is there in the bigger areas, Cleveland and Akron, and there's a lot of immigrants up there that the game is. I mean, it's a high level of soccer. It's a very high level of soccer comparable to other countries and how they run their lower level systems, I would say. So I mean, it's there. But you're right in terms of, Youngstown and the areas that are, not as big of a market like Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, everywhere in between there it's definitely dominated by football, but it is growing, it is growing. And you can see that by the youth soccer population. I think when I was in college back there at Mount in 2014, I remember soccer became the most popular sport amongst the youth population. So, and it's only continued to grow along with some other sports. So, but yeah, back to the question, it's definitely growing in Ohio, and it's already established. It's already there for sure also.
What would you maybe tell people in high school right now wanting to continue their soccer career in college? What would you tell them about Mount Union, the school, and what the program has to offer?
I would definitely say it's a school you need to consider. It's a school you need to look at. Top of the line training facilities in terms of I can't remember the weightlifting facility. It's slipping my mind for only the athletes specifically. I mean, they have a great rec center. You're in it right there. You're in the beautiful gym. So top of the line facilities, brand new stadium. I don't know if they turfed 23rd Street yet, but I know they turfed right next to the stadium. So they're always putting money back into it. And I think that's apparent, whenever you have an institution where the alumni wants to give money back and they want to come back and they want to be around, like you mentioned at the beginning of the interview, homecoming, such a big weekend. That right there says everything you need to know. That's proof of you have memories and you want to be back around that place because you enjoyed it so much when you were there. And I would just encourage everybody, to not overlook a school that is definitely dominated by football, but that's not a bad thing because it seems like the better, you have to have better sports all around, a good athletic program rather than just one sport. So and Mount Union always has had that. Even when we were there, they always had baseball, was solid, track and field, or win national championships. So along with football, and I think soccer is definitely in the right direction. I know Carter Poe was a great coach; he was a great guy to have there, and I'm sure he passed the program on into good hands. And I'm excited for the future, and definitely just got to be able to get the players there and go from there and keep on moving. But I would definitely tell players don't overlook Mount Union. It's a great school, great facilities. And it's a very tenacious. The program is very intense. It's very intense, and it's definitely a memory you're going to remember for the rest of your life.
For sure. Well, Tom, thank you for joining us today. As always, you're always welcome back on campus. Hope to see you sometime soon, and have a great rest of the fall.
Awesome. Thanks, Brendan, man. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys reaching out to me. Tell everybody I said hi. Go Raiders.